way she work, yeah. She always puts me first, yeah. And I know I've been around, but I swear you got the best on earth, yeah, yeah,
yeah. What's poppin', gang? Welcome back to Aaliyah TV. I'm Aaliyah, and first things first, how are you? How's your day? Comment down below. Second, if you're already here, you might as well like, comment, and subscribe, baby. If you can subscribe. It's not that hard. Now, first things first, I would just like to announce I have nails again, and it feels amazing. Honestly, like, I miss having nails. But the thing is, I've been wrestling, so it's like, this is kind of hard. I don't know how I managed to make it through a practice with my nails on, but we did. We did it. Anywho, so today's video is just a tutorial of this like smoky sangria kind of eye. It's really pretty. I really love it. So yeah. And the account that, well, I didn't come up with this eye look on my own. That's what I'm gonna say. I didn't come up with this eye look on my own. I was scrolling through Instagram the other day and I saw this girl, I think her name's like Natasha or something, and she had this amazing eye look, and I was like, you're kidding me, like, this is gorgeous. I want to imitate this. So I decided today to recreate this look. I'm gonna make sure I put her Instagram in the description below. And, you know, without further ado, if you want to see how I got this amazing eye look that Natasha, or whatever her name may be, inspired, keep watching. So I did already just go, you know, my eyebrows and all that, go do my eyebrows and stuff. So the first shade that I'm going to get started in, because I'm using the Morphe palette, I'm going to go into the shade Feeling Myself. I'm using the JACLYN Hill Volume 2 palette. I'm going with my M441. And I'm just going to tap into Feeling Myself. Is this orange shade. It's like this really pretty orange shade, as you can see. And I'm just going to go around this area of my eye. So just watch. And now, just real quick, I'm gonna go in with my M433. I'm gonna take the shade No Joke, tap into that, and I'm gonna go just like on the outer eyelid part, just to add a little bit of volume or whatever. And now I'm just gonna go back in again with the shade Feel Myself using my M441 again. And I'm just gonna do it until I get it as deep as I want it to be. As deep and orange as I would like it to be.
Isatorresbeats on the beat, boys.
And then again, I'm gonna go in with the M433, go in with No Joke, and just blend that on the outer edge.
Purchase your tracks today.
So the next thing we're gonna be doing is we're gonna go in with a darker shade, or like a more burnt orange shade per se. So I'm gonna take my M514, and in the JACLYN Hill palette, I think I'm gonna go, it's the shade Hunt, I think it's called. I'm gonna go in with that shade, tap off a little bit more, just because it's kind of like a more like brownish color, more reddish. And I'm gonna go on the outer corner, just right there, the lower outer corner. And I'm gonna start blending it in. And now that I've done that, I'm gonna go in now with the shade My Man, also using the same brush, and just blend it all along this area. Just a little bit. So yeah. Now the next thing that I'm gonna do, because I also want to add a little more depth into it. Hold up, I'm trying to find like the right brush that I want to use. Alright, I'm gonna go with this Anastasia Beverly Hills brush that I actually have, and I'm using the first JACLYN Whole palette, and I'm gonna go in with this shade that's right below. It's right below Hans. It's like this darkish brick red, really dark. You can barely see on the you can see on the brush. And I'm just gonna go on the outer lid crease, whatever you want to call it. And I'm just gonna start packing it in there. Adding some volume.
Purchase your tracks today.
And use that to blend more, because this is a better brush than the ABH one. I'm going to take more orange with the M441, and I'm just going to dust it along here to bring more orange into it. And then I'm going to go in with my M433, I said 33, and also bring that in. Ooh, I put a little too much. I didn't dust it off enough. Oh dear. Houston, we have a problem. Alright, here I have a clean brush. I can blend that out. Alright, we're good. Crease is averted. Where the hell was the other brush that I had? Was it M514 that I...
A few moments later.
Found it. I'm stupid. So just for here, I was going in again with the M514 and the shade below Hunts and the shade Hunts, just to blend things more together and tie it. Alright. Now that that's that, I'm going to begin cutting my crease. I'm using my Makeup Forever concealer. And I'm going to go in and use my tiny mirror. I'm going to use my tiny mirror to do this because we want to be precise. Let me do this. I'm going to be using this Bare Minerals Max. Yeah, it's the Bare Essentials. I don't even know where I got this brush from. It just appeared one day. It's the Max Coverage Concealer Brush. So, yeah. I hope I get the max coverage on this one. So, I'm just going to start with cutting my crease. Per usual, I'm just doing a half cut crease because I don't like doing full ones. So I did not like using that Bare Minerals brush. It was just too big for me to use, and it just made me really nervous. So I did just switch to using my Morphe M432 like I always do to cut my crease. And also, I just want to point out that like when you're cutting your crease, you want to make sure you do the outline first. At least that's what I like to do. I like to stamp the outline, or just like do the outline of the cut crease first, and then from there I like to let it dry. And also, I didn't show it in here, but whenever you cut your crease, especially if you have hooded eyelids like mine, you want to keep your eyes like as stretched out as possible. You want to keep them like closed almost, so you can let the concealer dry so it doesn't, you know, like go everywhere. And obviously once the concealer does dry, I recommend taking just like a small brush or whatever, putting some baking powder on it just to help set the concealer. That way it doesn't crease up and everything. So yeah.
One eternity later.
Alright guys, so I did finish cutting my crease, the concealer dried and everything, and I set the concealer and all that. Now I'm going to go in with it from the JACLYN Pill Morphe Volume 2 palette. I'm going to be going in with my JH41. I'm going to go with this shade Hard On. It's kind of like a corally color. Maybe I put in too much. I don't know. I'm just going to go, and I'm going to go in the center part of my crease. So obviously whenever you're filling in your cut crease, adding color to it, you just want to make sure like you're very precise when you do it. I also recommend to use a flat brush, like a concealer brush, when you start doing it, and then switch to like a small blending brush or whatever. And you know, you need to be precise, because say you go above the cut crease line, then you gotta do all this work to blend it out, and you know, whatever you do to one side, you gotta do to the other, otherwise it's gonna look kind of funky. So just remember to be really like precise with it. And also when you're packing in that color, you wanna don't tap the excess off. Actually, don't tap off the excess when you're packing in the color, because you want it to be as pigmented as possible. And just make sure you get the whole entirety of the area where you're trying to get, and make sure you get in on like near the eyelid, because sometimes the eyeshadow doesn't apply to there, so you have to put in that extra effort, you know what I mean? And then before I do anything else, I'm gonna go in with in this other brown shade from the first JACLYN palette with Morphe, and I'm just gonna blend that in over here, diffuse it. Honestly, I can't wait to take this tape off, because it's killing my eyes and I really hate tape. So yeah. And then I'm gonna go back to packing it in. And please remember guys, it is important to diffuse the line between the shades and the cut crease, because obviously it's not gonna look cute. It's gonna look almost like a little tacky if you don't diffuse it, because you just look and you see that one harsh line right there. Like there's no blend, there's no diffusion, there's no ombre into it. So just remember, like, it is such an important step if you want it to look nice and you want it to look cute and all that. Alright, now that I've done that, I'm actually gonna go in with a glitter shade. I'm gonna go in with a little glitter. This might be perfect. I really want to. I'm gonna go in with this random glitter that I have. I don't even know what it's called, I just know that I have it. And I'm gonna go with my JH42. I'm gonna get some on it, and I'm gonna put it on my eyelid. Just on like the inner corner. Just on the inner corner, I'm gonna put it on there. yeah, I'm gonna let that, what the hell? Oh, it's because it's dry. So I'm gonna let the glitter dry. Why does it not show on your... You see it, right? Like, it doesn't show. It shows on this eye, but it's not showing on that eye. I'm not going crazy. Now I have to put more. What the... Why? You're lying. I'm gonna just get back to y'all when I have my lashes and everything done. Okay. Alright, hey guys, so I did have some complication getting my lashes on, and everything, but I did get them on. I'm wearing my Ardell lashes, and the concealer here, that's just because I had to clean up my eyeliner and everything. It's gonna go away in a minute once I do my face makeup and all that. So I'm gonna start by going in with my MAC Studio Face and Body Foundation. It's water-based, and for me, it's actually a really good foundation just because the fact that, yeah, my door's closed. Because the fact that it's sheer coverage, medium to sheer coverage. And for me, obviously, because of the fact that I have naturally clear skin and everything, it works better for me because it clogs my pores less, and I really love this foundation. I highly recommend it. Just because, yeah, it's an amazing foundation. If I'm not using the NARS Sheer Glow foundation, then I'm using this MAC foundation. So the foundation brush that I did use was the Morphe M439. I just used that to blend it in. And before that, I used to use the Morphe Beauty Blender, but I kind of like using this brush more. It looks really nice. It's so airbrushed and everything. And I feel like the Beauty Blender takes away more foundation than it helps applies and blends out. So I just stopped using it. And in a couple of minutes, you're going to see my door open because my little sister. So then I had to go and close it. But I had this really short crop top on. And my mom hates when I have my midriff or whatever showing in videos. So, that's why when you see, I was trying to cover my stomach and all that because I didn't want her to get mad or anything and stuff. So, yeah. And then at this point, I started doing my concealer. I was just doing my makeup forever. And honestly, I think that the concealer is getting old and I need to get a new one because it's not blending right. And it was getting so bad at the point that I had to use my foundation brush to even start blending it out. So yeah. And I'm just going to wait for it to get to the part that I'm going to talk at now. Yeah, and then at this point, I just started putting on concealer in my T-zone. I like to put it on the Cupid's bow of my lip and everything, just to help contour it more, make it look more defined or whatever, you know what I mean? And then once I did this, I did set my face using this Neutrogena skin powder or whatever. I don't even know what shade it is. I forgot to check. But I just know I need to get a darker skin finish because the powder did make me look kind of pale afterwards. It's either the powder or I have to get a darker foundation. I'm not sure yet. But, I just dusted it all over my face and stuff. And then after that is when I set my under eye using my NYX Pro Contour Highlight Palette, whatever it's called. I used the yellow banana shade to put it in my under eye, and the brush I used to set my under eye, I used my Morphe X JACLYN JH07. And then from there, I just started contouring using my NYX Pro Contour Palette and all that. So yeah. So when I contour, I like to suck in my cheeks or whatever, make the fish face so that I can contour. And then the bronzer brush I used was my JACLYN Hill X Morphe brush. I don't remember the number. I don't feel like grabbing the brush to look at it right now, but you know what it was. And then for blush, I use the same blush I use every single time, the the Tarte Amazonian Clay highlighter in the shade Party, and I use my Morphe E4 blush brush to do that. Honestly, I love that brush so much. It's such a good brush. I feel like it just applies the blush so nicely and all that. And then I did just put some bronzer on my forehead and stuff just so I didn't look super washed out. And once I did that, I took my Morphe Beauty Blender and I dipped it in my Coty Airspun powder, and I just started, you know, baking my face, fixing up the contour and everything so it would look clean and it wouldn't drag too far down and look kind of funny. I also put it on my under eye just to set it a little bit more and stuff, so yeah.
Purchase your tracks today.
So at this point, I took this little makeup brush, this little packing brush or whatever that I had from Real Techniques. I took so long to explain that. As you can see, I just contoured my nose a little bit, just putting on the outer rim. I also like to put it on like this little part of my nose where it's like there's the bridge and there's the tip of my nose, and there's like the in between part, so I like to put it there, and also on like the tip of my nose to make it look smaller or whatever. And then from there, I just took my pinky, I put in my Makeup Forever highlighter, as you can see, and I just rubbed it lightly on the bridge of my nose and on the tip of my nose just to highlight my nose and all that. And then I blended it out and just, you know, I continued to touch up my nose a little bit, so yeah. So when I was done with my face, I did just go back to my eyes, and I used the JACLYN X Morphe brush that I was using before with the shade Hard On just to put it on my under eye. And I also did use the I used one of the minier blending brushes that I had with the shade Below Hunt in the first JACLYN Hill palette just to diffuse it more and all that. And then I also went back in with the orange shade that I was using from my outer corner. I think it was Feeling Myself. Hey guys, so I did just finish the rest of my makeup off camera. Nothing big, you know. I just put eyeshadow under my eyes with the orange and the pink shade from the JACLYN Hill Volume 2 palette. And then I did... Okay. And then I did just do my lips. I put on like this whole like combination of lip glosses and lipsticks and everything, so yeah, it was just like, it was a lot of really time consuming, so I didn't want to waste your time with that. But yes, this is the look today. I'm gonna zoom in for you guys real quick. Wait, it's my eyeliner. I don't even care how my eyeliner looks at this point. I'm tired. But this is the look. It's like this smoky sangria type of eye look. I really love it. I'm gonna make sure that I put the link to the account of the lady who inspired this eye look, of the girl who inspired this eye look. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love y'all so much. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share it with your friends, your family, your cousins, your dog, if your dog likes watching YouTube. And without further ado, peace.
Talk that talk and walk that walk. Talk that talk, better walk that walk. Talk that talk and walk that walk.